You guys feel like you've done that yet, or is that still to come?
Maybe it's still to come. Maybe next week.
Can you go over this chain? This is a new chain you got? I haven't seen this yet.
Yeah, it ain't new. I'm not really a flashy guy. I don't really wear it.
It's your Monday Night Football
said
chain?
I look good, yeah. So I put it on.
Thanks, Mike.
Mike, 2 or 3 weeks ago, we heard Zach saying that, with this offense, we're still building it. And it feels like that has really kind of been evidenced these last couple games. Can you just kind of talk about, from your perspective, how you see this offense evolving as the season goes on?
Yeah, like I said, I feel like, obviously it's tough whenever, it's tough in the NFL. Let's say that. Like, the NFL is tough. So I feel like each and every day we're trying to figure out, who we are, what our identity is. And, because one game, you look at the first game, it's like we had to throw a lot. In the second game, we won running the ball. I feel like tonight it was collective. We had over 210 rushing to almost 50 passing. Like, it was good, but I feel like whenever we look at that second half, like, so frustrating because I'm like, man, we definitely could have pulled away with that game. It could have been a larger margin. But whenever we figure that out, I feel like that's when we're going to know, who we are and what we're able to do.
210 rushing yards and 233.
So the Falcons get a second straight win to improve to 3-2. But the game behind us, the Bears and the Commanders just finished. Now, if you remember last year, same two teams in D.C., and Jaden Daniels comes off with the Hail Maryland, they call it now. Noah Brown had the catch. But now we just saw a game-winning field goal.
Just reverse it.
At zeros with the Bears going on the road, Herm, to take down the Commanders.
I mean, this is a really good win for the Chicago Bears. And Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams, to beat Washington there. Washington was a playoff team last year. Yeah. They have a chance even this year to win this division.
NFC title game last year.
This kind of win for Caleb Williams, for Ben Johnson, their new head coach, what does that tell you about the Chicago team?
Well, it gives you more confidence because you look at your division all of a sudden, and the Detroit Lions were supposed to be the team that was going to run away with it.
Yep, they just got beat by Kansas City.
And the Green Bay Packers have stumbled around some. So now you're the Chicago Bears, and you're going, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah. Don't forget about us.
That's a big win for Chicago.
But what does that do for Caleb Williams?
Think about it this way. Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams were 1 and 2 picks. Jaden had the year he had. Caleb Williams suffered through it all. 68 sacks. They were booing him. He gets a new head coach, and all of a sudden he looks like a different football player. He has unique talent, and now all of a sudden his talent is being displayed. He's in an offense that, obviously, the more he plays in this offense, the better they're going to become. So these arrows are pointing in the right direction for Chicago.
Scott Van Pelt and his version of sports are coming up here in a few moments. We're going to hear from reaction from those guys. But the Commanders had this game. They had the 2-point lead. They were driving the other way. They had a chance on third down to get a first down. If they completed it, they probably could have ran the clock out, and they had a fumble that gave the Bears the ball. So I'm sure the Bears were like, yeah, we came in here and won this game, but the Commanders like, no, we gave it away.
To you.
Well, the Commanders turned the ball over twice. So, you can't do that. I mean, that's a losing formula.
And there it is right there.
And maybe in the past you could have done it against the Bears. Not now. The Bears are getting better. They're improving. That's a good thing. When you turn the ball over, it's very difficult to win football games.
Especially late in games when you have a lead, you're trying to turnovers are one thing. I know coaches hate them, but the timing of turnovers sometimes matter more than the number itself.
The one thing about football you learn, and this is the golden rule, you kick it to the opponent. That's the only way he gets the ball. You kick it to him.
And that did not happen. All right, let's talk about it wasn't just Caleb Williams. They got a hell of a performance tonight from Swift as well, receiving, rushing, the balance that offense has now taken.
Great balance, and then you can't credit their defense enough. Their defense played a pretty good offense and held the quarterback in check in Jaden Daniels. I mean, Jaden Daniels is a really good player. And it was complimentary football. And then the kicker makes the kick at the end, and it's raining, and you're wondering, is he going to make the kick?
He got one blocked earlier.
Right? He made the one, and he wins the game.
Yeah, look at that.
Look at that.
Hey, they love you when you make it to win the game, that's for sure.
You didn't make it.
They're interviewing the kicker after the game.
Right, and keep in mind the journey he's had because Moody was cut by the 49ers this season, and now he's experiencing that. You know, Ben Johnson is in Chicago now as the head coach. He was the offensive coordinator in Detroit a season ago. That offense in Detroit was creative. They were explosive. Are you starting to see some of those qualities now show up in the Chicago offense after sort of like settling in a little bit?
And what's happening is the players are believing it now. And you got to win games like this, going on the road, beating a playoff team, and all of a sudden your quarterback's playing with more confidence. And this is a confident football team now all of a sudden. They're going to be hard to deal with. That division is still competitive. You got Detroit in there, you have Green Bay, they're not going anywhere. But now all of a sudden Chicago's a team that's sitting, okay, Minnesota is a team. So this division has become very interesting. Chicago was like the afterthought. The Bears had in it. You're a Bear fan, you're excited.
You made a comment earlier about the value of coaching because Caleb Williams looks more like he did at USC than he did the last couple of years there in Chicago. And the thing that has changed, obviously, as Nicole just alluded to, is the change in coaching and the offense that came with him.
There's no doubt. And it has a lot to do, especially with the quarterback. Look at some of these quarterbacks now that have had a second chance and their success. Guy in Minnesota. Playing pretty good.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, it wasn't just Caleb Williams getting a new coach this year. He had 2 coaches last year.
Yes.
He had 2 coaches last year when they got rid of Eberflus, and now this year is his 3rd coach.
And it says something about Caleb Williams, too.
Yeah.
How we handle all that.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the quarterback always gets blamed when they lose. Quarterback and head coach.
Yes.
That's right. All
I
right.
blame Eves when things go wrong.
Yes, she does. All right, so
like if he
it's
bungles
a huge
this,
night,
it's
as
going to
you
be his
couldn't
fault.
tell. 2 Monday Night Football games, 2 LCS games in Major League Baseball. We're going to wrap all of that up a little bit later tonight, but right now we're going to send it to Scott Van Pelt after a huge win there by the Bears.
We'll see you in a bit.
Welcome to the Nationwide postgame. I'm Scott Van Pelt here in New York City. What a night in the National Football League as Week 6 wraps up. The Chicago Bears lost on a Hail Mary on the same field a year ago on a misty October night. They win at the gun and down by 8 in the 4th quarter. Caleb Williams out to DeAndre Swift. Washington has not been great tackling this year, and it rears its ugly head as DeAndre Swift, powerful running back, runs through a tackle, 55 yards. They go for 2, don't get it. Washington with the football back, and on a misty night, the operation not clean as Daniels cannot get into the belly of Bill Krosky-Merritt, and that means the Bears have another opportunity. 3rd down and 5. Big conversion to the Michigan man, Colston Loveland. And now it's Swift again. You want to get as close as you can to give the new kicker, Jake Moody, an opportunity. And what a run from Swift, getting them closer. That allows them to set it up exactly where they want, in the middle of the field. Moody hit 3 field goals, had 1 block. The snap's a bit high, but it is placed down and it is buried. And the Chicago Bears able to score the last 9 in this one to win by 1 as the game ends, and they score a measure of revenge. We welcome in Joe Buck and Troy Aikman from the booth. And Joe, I want to start with you. We had difficulty getting out of town. That's where we live, to get up here to New York because of the remnants of this nor'easter, combination of a little bit of rain and a whole bunch of wind. And we saw that mist start to pick up there. How much of a role do you believe that might have played in that final fumble for Washington?
I think it had a lot to do with it. I'm standing next to a guy who every time there may be bad weather, he says to whatever coach and whatever quarterback, how is he or how are you throwing a wet ball? Because he didn't like throwing a wet ball. I mean, it has to factor in that Jaden Daniels couldn't secure the snap and then basically is shoveling it to Krosky-Merritt. So, yeah, I think that played a role. But then you have to go back to Chicago and see if they can take advantage of it. DeAndre Swift with 175 yards from scrimmage and some big runs really from the beginning of the ball game. That and the turnovers is, I guess, in the end, the difference in tonight's game.
Yeah, that and the new kicker who has 1 blocked, and then the life of a kicker, really an amazing sort of life and existence for these guys. And he's the hero in the end. And Troy, you made a bit of a joke about maybe it comes down to a Hail Mary. It doesn't.